Hi guys, today we will be talking about hydropowers. We will be covering on its working principle, advantages, disadvantages, and recommendations on how to improve on the hydropower system. Hydropower generates electricity using the energy of moving water. Water flows from a higher elevation to a lower elevation, and the hydropower facility uses a turbine and generator to convert this motion into electricity. The water behind the dam flows through an intake and pushes against blades in a turbine, causing them to turn. The turbine spins a generator to produce electricity. The amount of electricity that can be generated depends on how far the water drops and how much water moves through the system. It works like a huge battery. To charge the battery, water is pumped back up into the reservoir during low periods of energy use, often during the night when people are using lesser appliances. Then when people need more power during the day, the water can be released to produce more electricity. Hydropower is the cheapest way to generate electricity today. That's because once a dam has been built and the equipment installed, the energy source, which is flowing water, is free. Hydropower is also readily available. Engineers can control the flow of water through the turbines to produce electricity on demand. It's a clean fuel source as when in use, electricity produced by the system do not produce greenhouse gases which cause global warming, which is a serious problem faced by our Mother Earth today. However, some disadvantage of using hydropower is that firstly, damming rivers may destroy or disrupt wildlife and other natural resources. Some fish, like salmon, may be prevented from swimming upstream to spawn. This disrupts the ecological marine cycle as the food chain may be affected. Secondly, people living in villages and towns are prone to flooding in the valley. As such, people were forced to move out of their living condition. This means that they lose their farms and businesses. In some countries, people are forcibly removed so that hydropower schemes can go ahead. Manufacturing and building a dam and installation of turbine is very costly, due to which many countries do not employ this alternative source of energy. If the initial cost had been less, then it would have been used more commonly. Its construction requires a lot of human capital and labor. Its maintenance cost is thus very costly. Well, given the disadvantages for using hydropower, does it mean that we should boycott or ban the use of hydropowers? Fret not, because we have come up with some recommendations to make this technology a greener and better one. Firstly, researchers are reducing adverse impact on fishes and their natural habitat by inputting fish ladders and let them swim around the dams. This prevents the fishes from being caught behind the turbines. Secondly, we could upgrade older facility by increasing the efficiency of the turbine and generator so that more energy from the moving water can be converted into electrical or stored energy. Thirdly, building an aerator in the spawning ground would promote aeration in water, since the harsh environment condition in the spawning ground, such as low dissolved oxygen, makes living condition unfavorable to many fishes. Lastly, to reduce flooding downstream, methods of channelization such as river resectioning and bank protection can be done to prevent flooding. For river resectioning, it is the widening and deepening of the river channel. It also increases the channel's ability to hold water, thus decreasing the chances of flood. River resectioning also increases the amount of surface runoff from the surrounding area into the river, because more surface runoff can now enter the river without causing it to flood. In addition, the riverbed and banks may be smoothened by replacing the soil of the riverbed and bank with cement and granite. By doing so, there's less friction between the water and riverbed and banks. Thus, the speed of the river will increase and allow water to flow away from the area more quickly. A method of bank protection is building artificial levees or dikes. These walls of sand and stone or concrete are built along rivers that often overflow their banks. This structure increases the capacity of the river to hold water, therefore reducing chances of flooding. In some countries, concrete structures such as gabions and revetments are built along a river channel to divert the flow of water from the river banks to the center of the channel. This protects the river bank from being eroded by the force of running water, therefore reducing the amount of sediments that flows into the river. When there are lesser sediments washed into the river, the capacity of the river to hold water increases. When this happens, the river channel will flood less frequently. To conclude, I hope that you have understood more about hydropower on its working principles, advantages and disadvantages. Unfortunately, for every wonderful invention, there will be its own cons. But hopefully with our recommendation, this hydropower system can be made greener to the environment. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for watching.